Newly released U.S. Department of Justice documents are sending shockwaves through royal watchers tonight, revealing deeply personal emails exchanged between Sarah Ferguson, the former Duchess of York, and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein months after his release from jail. According to the DOJ file cache made public Friday, Ferguson referred to Epstein as a legend and even wrote the line that is now dominating headlines, "Just marry me." The message, dated January 2010, came roughly 6 months after Epstein completed a jail sentence for soliciting sex from minors, as confirmed in the federal document release. The emails don't stop there. The newly unsealed records show Ferguson repeatedly thanking Epstein for his generosity and emotional support, calling him a spectacular and special friend. In another exchange from 2009, contained within the DOJ archive, she tells him, quote, "I can organize anything," after he inquired about arranging what appears to be a VIP London experience. The documents reference possible access to Buckingham Palace apartments, although the files themselves do not confirm whether any visit actually occurred, according to the material published in the government release. The cache also paints a picture of continued communication, even as Epstein's legal and reputational crisis escalated globally. Emails cited in the DOJ release show Epstein attempting to coordinate a public relations defense, including drafts of statements he hoped Ferguson would issue denying he was a pedophile. In correspondence with publicist Mike Citrick, included in the same document batch, Epstein discusses applying pressure to secure a public retraction. Ferguson's representatives have previously stated, according to archived media responses referenced in the file context, that certain emails were written under legal threat. Another layer of controversy involves references to Ferguson's daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. A July 2010 message included in the DOJ materials shows Epstein asking if the young royals could greet an unnamed visitor while in London. Ferguson responds with travel details about both daughters. Royal analysts say the inclusion of family logistics in the exchange is likely to intensify scrutiny over boundaries maintained after Epstein's conviction, as highlighted by commentary surrounding the document release. The documents also reopen discussion about Epstein's broader ties to Andrew, Ferguson's former husband. Separate records within the same DOJ release reference continued social contact between Epstein and Andrew after the financier's release from custody. Former Prince Andrew has repeatedly denied wrongdoing and previously settled a civil sexual assault lawsuit without admitting liability. The renewed focus arrives as public debate over royal accountability resurfaces, driven by the scale and detail of the government's newly published archive. For Ferguson, the revelations risk reviving a chapter she publicly tried to close more than a decade ago. In interviews from 2011 referenced in the contextual reporting attached to the file release, she expressed regret over accepting money from Epstein and pledged to sever ties. Yet the email timeline now entering the public domain suggests a more complex and prolonged relationship than previously understood. As analysts continue combing through millions of pages in the federal archive, this story is far from over, and the royal fallout may only be beginning. What stands out in the newly released documents is how casual and ongoing the tone of communication appears. Emails contained in the DOJ archive show Ferguson thanking Epstein for emotional and professional support, crediting him for boosting momentum around her business ventures. According to the government files, she describes a surge of opportunity following meetings connected to him, suggesting his influence extended into her media and retail ambitions. Reviewers analyzing the timeline stress that all of these exchanges took place after Epstein's conviction was already public knowledge. The DOJ documents underline that the relationship continued during a period when global scrutiny around Epstein was intensifying. Commentators say that contrast between public distancing and private communication is likely to shape public reaction as the document release continues to be dissected. As investigators and journalists work through millions of pages in the Federal Archive, the Ferguson emails are emerging as one of the most talked about sections of the release. While the documents raise ethical and reputational questions, they also highlight how Epstein maintained contact with high-profile figures long after his criminal case. Analysts say the unfolding review of these files means this chapter of the scandal is still developing, and further revelations could follow.